Hey everyone, it's Tallara and welcome back to Dragon Age Inquisition. So we just returned to the Skyhold after some very exciting events in the capital, and we're going to take this moment to decompress, unwind. We also need to check in with a bunch of these people. Someone named Meriden, Quartermaster, whoever this is. There's a bunch of points of interest on our map. We're going to go check all those out, plus I want to catch up with all of our companions, so... It's time to get social. Now, who's Meriden? And why does she want to talk to me? The exclamation point was in here, and now it's gone. That's so weird. Okay, well... guess we'll keep looking. Well, while we're here, we can check in with Bull. What's going on, man?
You know I've got no problem with Orlesians, but Halam Sharal was a mess.
It was a mess.
At least under the Qun, you don't get everyone tripping on each other's dicks while the country goes to crap.
I mean... You've got quite the silver tongue.
You've got a way with words, Bull.
I do what I can.
Maybe we can find some other uses for that mouth of yours.
Yeah.
Spicy.
When is the next meal anyway? Orlesian food always leaves me hungry.
Jeez Louise. Alright. Starting today off with a little bit of spice. What else is in here? Sutherland, what do you want?
Oh, Inquisitor, I joined. Sutherland, your worship. I saw some bandits, so I came to warn people. I'll let your warriors know and then stay out of the way.
Okay. I have no idea who you are, but welcome, Sutherland. We can take all the helpful hands we can get around here. I'm not going to say no to some good help. Check in on Sarah. Her door's closed, though.
One for the Empress, for Gaspar, Briala, the Duchess, and Corypticus. Right in the dangle bag.
Whoa. Remind me not to get you mad.
Well, remind me to stay on your good side.
Don't worry, you're sparkling compared to that lot. A cook here, a footman there. What's it matter, right, so long as there's a book for the throne? A pretty one, sure. But how many lives are worth one Empress's arse? Ugh, that place. Should have just thrown in some bees and slammed the doors.
I don't think that would have helped.
And that would accomplish what exactly?
Stinging around the face and neck? Can't assassinate Empresses if your eyes swell shut. I don't know. But I'm just trying to get this junk out of my head. These people, they're the worst. Ugh, you know the most important thing I got out of all of that mess? The one thing. Don't sleep with Empresses. That's what that was all about. That, and Briala being an idiot. The whole thing would have gone different if that little piss-up wasn't in the middle.
I mean, yeah, their mistakes kind of did make it worse.
That was a mistake on their part. It made everything worse.
Wrong way around, Inquisitor. It started worse. Lots of people died before there was a hole in the sky. That's who you're saving. If you get a chance, maybe remind them not to be idiots.
Easier said than done, I think. Idiots are going to be idiots. No matter what I say or do. I definitely get the frustration. Sometimes trying to interact with some of these people is like banging your head on a wall, but you gotta take the good with the bad if you're gonna be the hero.
I didn't understand the Grand Ball. It would have been easier if they said what they wanted.
Yeah, true. I can't disagree there.
That would have made everything much simpler.
The colors were pretty, though.
I'm glad you liked it. I haven't actually checked in since the whole humanity thing, but you're more human now, hey?
May I ask how things are now that you're more human?
It hurts. Everything hurts. Everyone remembers me now. I can only make them miss me for a few heartbeats. But I'm real. More real, anyway. And I understand more than I did.
Okay. You still read minds though, right?
You're still able to sense the feelings of others, aren't you?
Yes, I still feel things, flashes of their minds. Pain, hurt, all of it. It's not so loud anymore. I make more noise myself, so I don't hear as much unless I want to. I remember more things, though. It lets me learn. I sometimes see why something I said would bother Cullen. Maybe I'll do it less.
What about your body?
Are you still physically the same? Or are you fully human?
I was always fully human. I can do everything I could do before, except make people forget. The way I move comes from my mind, not my body. As long as I remember some of the Fade, it remains. My body is just like the real Cole's, except that he was a mage. I'm not.
Why not?
Why aren't you a mage?
I can't know for sure, but the real Cole, his father beat him, killed his mother. His sister might have died, too. I don't know if that was real or what the demon made me think. Then the Templars threw Cole in darkness and starved him, all because he had magic. He thought that if he didn't have magic, I'm what he wanted to be. Him, but normal. So no one would hurt him.
That's sad. Have you been finding it harder to help people?
Can you still help people if you can't make them forget?
It's harder. I can't start over if I do it wrong. But seeing me changes them. They know a person wants them to hurt less. That helps.
Interesting. Alright, well thanks for the chat, Cole.
I'll talk to you later.
Goodbye.
Okay, so we caught up with a few of our companions. I didn't find Mary Beth, or whatever her name on the map was, who wanted to give us a quest. That's okay. Let's keep looking. Okay, next up we have Cassandra. Let's chat with her.
Will you not consider it, Lady Cassandra? The clerics are still sequestered. If no one steps forward, they will debate until...
And you think I could make them agree? I've had enough for one day, Mother Giselle.
Talk to her, your worship.
What's this about?
What's going on now?
I assume you've heard that Leliana and I are both candidates to be the next Divine. Because of what happened at Halam Shiral, of course, the Empire favors you. Thus, everyone close to you. So now the Chantry bandies our names about without even asking us first.
Is that even possible?
How can you and Liliana be candidates? You're not even priests.
It's not without precedent. Amar III was sister to the Emperor, and Galatea a commoner. Liliana and I were, at least, part of the Chantry hierarchy. It would be accepted.
Interesting. Why am I not a candidate?
If they'll pick non-priests, why am I not a candidate?
Because you're a mage, first and foremost.
Touché.
If they name you a candidate, they may as well join the Tevinter Imperium.
Touché.
Truly, though, I imagine it's because they're frightened of you. A weight such as yours would break the Sunburst throne and tear the Chantry to pieces. I just don't know why they believe Leliana or I would be any better.
I mean, well, for the mage thing, A. B, you guys literally were basically in the Chantry. You were the hands of the Divine, so you know the inner workings of it. You're actually believers in the Maker. I'm none of those things, so I didn't seriously expect to ever be a candidate, but I thought I'd ask. I mean, you can always refuse. It's your choice.
If you don't want it, then tell them so.
Surely it was never meant to be like this. The Chantry, the Circle of Magi, the Templars, this cannot be what they intended when it all began. The Chantry should provide faith, hope. Instead, it cannot veer from its course, even in the face of certain death.
You really feel that way?
I'm surprised to hear you, of all people, say that.
Oh? Am I not the same woman who declared the Inquisition against the Chantry's wishes?
Touché.
In all my years as a seeker, I did what I was told. My faith demanded it. But now my faith demands something else. That I see with better eyes.
Cassandra really has an answer for everything I throw at her. She is a great leader, and I've said this before. If you just look at her from the surface level, you don't realize how actually introspective and reflective she is. She's actually a very smart lady. But yeah, it's quite clear that what perhaps was once a good idea, and, you know, establishing the Chantry and the Templars, etc., etc., everything gets twisted over a while, right? The true purpose of things get twisted, and so you could start over and do better.
If you're concerned, then make it better.
Did you know Varric is Andrastian? Oh, he blasphemes with every second breath, but deep down he believes. His heart is virtuous. But he would never step foot in a Chantry. It should be the first place to which the virtuous turn. It needs to change. Perhaps I must be the one to change it.
And what of Liliana?
You're not the only candidate. What about Liliana?
Liliana says she wishes to follow Justinia's legacy. But she and I remember a different person. Justinia knew her fellow clerics and the people would only accept so much change. Liliana would cast it all aside and start over, I think. And that would be chaos for us all.
What would you change then?
What would you change about the Chantry?
The Circle of Magi has its place, but it needs reform. Let the mages govern themselves with our help. Let the Templars stand not as the jailers of mages, but as protectors of the innocent. We must be vigilant, but we must also be compassionate to all peoples of Thedas, human or no. That is what I would change.
I mean, look, that sounds all great to me. I would vote for Cassandra. That's awesome. I agree with everything she said there. I like your determination.
Your determination is admirable.
I do nothing.
I don't know
that
why
is
that
not
was a
worth
flirting
doing with all my
dialogue
heart.
option, but I meant
It's your
it.
most attractive trait.
Making her smile a little bit. Would this be a new crusade for you?
So this is your new crusade.
I've agreed to nothing yet.
And if the Chantry calls on you,
Then I will do whatever I can, for as long as I can. I suppose I should not be so concerned. The clerics speak my name for now, nothing more. For now, restoring order and stopping Corypheus remain our priority.
Well, that was an interesting conversation with Cassandra. Like I said, I mean, after hearing everything she has to say, she kind of gets my vote. I think she would do her best to create a world that's better than the one that we live in now, so I guess the real question is how much power and influence does Divine really have to change everything?
They may be running.
No need for commentary. Just
But
do your
yeah,
job.
I mean, it's something that we might have to deal with later.
It is if I say it is. Right you are.
Okay, so this is who we need to talk to, Sir Morris, for the quest.
Oh, my maker, you cannot imagine how many letters I've received about the fracas at Halam Shiral. Fortunately, you tied twice as many threads as cut, although it is yet bewildering at the center.
Halam Shiral caused a stir, hey?
there are problems coming out of Halam Shiral?
There are always problems from Halam Shiral. We've lost a few contracts, but more than made up for it. Although, if a few commendations were given, it might retie some severed threads. I couldn't suggest how. That is better decided at your war table, and I'm not going near that thing.
Okay, noted.
As you were.
We are here for you, Inquisitor.
Looks like that gave us a new operation. Negotiate a deal for weapons plans.
Of course. Another time.
No, they don't.
Yeah, so it's really weird, but that exclamation point that was right here, Mary Beth, or whatever her name was, it's just completely gone now, so I'm not sure what was up with that, but regardless, we're gonna head over to the other side of Skyhold and check in over here.
No one knows.
Oh, looks like Blackwell actually has a quest for us. Perfect. Hey man, what's up?
Want a drink? I've a hankering for company. When I was a boy, there were these urchins who roamed the streets near my father's house. One day, they found a dog. A wretched little thing. It came to them for food. They caught it, tied a rope around its neck, and strung it up.
What the hell?
Do you know what I did?
That's horrible.
Not the fireside tale I was expecting, Blackwall.
Just listen. I did nothing. Not a damn thing. It was crying. I saw the kicking legs, the neck straining and twisting. And I turned around, went inside, and closed the door. I could have told my father, or alerted someone. I didn't. I just pretended it wasn't happening.
I mean, so did everyone else by the sounds of it. I can't believe... Oh my god, that's awful.
You couldn't have been the only one there. No one else stepped in.
Doesn't make what I did any less wrong. I may as well have tied the noose myself. We could make the world better. It's just easier to shut our eyes.
It's true. But your eyes aren't shut, clearly, if you're still thinking about this story.
When we first met, you were saving peasants from demons and outlaws. You're not a man who shuts his eyes. A little insane, maybe.
Of course you'd make light of it. You make saving the world look easy. The rest of us can only dream of matching what you've done. Don't you see? It's not just about what happened back then. There's always some dog out there. Some fucking mongrel that doesn't know how to stay away.
Wow, well that was a depressing conversation, I can't lie. Okay, very depressing. I mean, good to know Blackwall has motivation to help people and change things, but still didn't love that dog story. We didn't get the quest from him either. I don't know if the quest marker just indicated a new cutscene or what, but I'm just gonna actually go back and talk to him again to make sure we didn't miss anything. But, oh, Blackwall is not even here. Okay.
There must be something here.
Ooh, what do we have, though? A letter! A message from Blackwall, Inquisitor. You've been a friend and an inspiration. You've given me the wisdom to know right from wrong, and more importantly, the courage to uphold the former. It's been my honor to serve you. Wait, what? Did Blackwall just leave?
The Spy Master has confirmed it. Blackwall is gone.
What the hell? Gone where? Liliana must know.
Go on. Liliana knows where he is, doesn't she? She knows everything.
She doesn't know everything, yet. Sister Liliana had us search the Warden's quarters. Not much to find, except this. It was missing from last week's reports. I don't know what Blackwall's interest in this particular matter is, but it could be a good place to start.
Crumpled report. A crumpled sheet of paper. It looks like it was removed from a recent report to Sister Liliana. Lieutenant Cyril Mornay, one of the soldiers responsible for the Callier massacre of 937, was captured in Lides. Like the others who were arrested for their involvement, Mornay insists that he did not know who he was assassinating, that he was just following the orders of his captain. This captain, Tom Rainier, is still at large. Mornay is to be executed within the week in Val Royeaux. Okay, I guess that's where Blackwall's gone. And we actually did just get a quest, Revelations, to go and attend Mornay's execution. So I guess we'll go meet Blackwall there and figure out what connection he has to all of this. Okay, so before we go to the war table and check in on all of our new operations, I want to check in on all of our friends up here in the hold proper. First up is Varric.
Words with my publisher. The first one will be you, and the second one will be Bastard. They've claimed for years my crime serials don't sell in Orlais. So why is the Council of Heralds asking me for autographs? Sorry, distracted. Anyway, you need something?
Didn't realize you were so famous. You know what? We haven't actually talked about Bianca yet, so can we do that?
Tell me more about Bianca.
I'm not making any promises here. Ask.
How do you know Bianca?
How do you know Bianca? The lady, I mean, not the crossbow.
I met her years ago when she still lived in Kirkwall, and I was looking for someone with mechanical skills. Bianca is, beyond a doubt, the most brilliant smith you'll ever meet. I haven't seen her since she got married and moved to Orlais.
But she's married.
Bianca is married? Somehow I thought that the two of you had a history.
Bianca's family are Kalnas. Surface dwarves, so conservative they don't take a piss without asking the ancestors first. They picked out a smith caste boy for her. Wealthy, respected, has a great anvil collection. The perfect husband. I heard the wedding was lovely. The one Bianca actually showed up for, anyway.
An arranged marriage that Bianca wasn't necessarily into. So, Bianca made your crossbow?
All right, tell me the truth. Bianca made your crossbow, didn't she? I mean, it has her name.
It's not that simple. The Carta thinks my Bianca was a freak success by a Carta inventor who could never duplicate it. If they thought anyone else was involved, someone who could make one work, things would be bad. So, I really can't tell the story. I don't want any more blood on my hands.
Fair enough. Last questions. How long have you guys been together?
So, how long have the two of you been together?
Well, if you want to split hairs, we're not. Usually there's a continent between us at all times. We write letters. Now and then we manage to meet up. I don't know if that's together. Shit, it's been what, 15 years? Great. Now I feel old. Thanks.
You're welcome. Alright, that's all for
I
now.
guess that's it for now.
Sure. I'll be here.
Good to know more about the mysterious Bianca and how he got the crossbow. Here's Solus.
Something wrong with your tea?
It is tea. I detest this stuff.
What?
But this morning, I need to shake the dreams from my mind. I may also need a favor.
You don't like tea? Alright, name it.
You just have to ask.
One of my oldest friends has been captured by mages, forced into slavery. I heard the cry for help as I slept.
Well, how did you hear the cry?
When your friend was captured, how did she...
It.
It?
My friend is a spirit of wisdom. Unlike the spirits clamoring to enter our world through the rifts, it was dwelling quite happily in the Fade. It was summoned against its will, and wants my help to gain its freedom and return to the Fade.
That makes more sense. Okay. Why would they summon it, though?
Do you have any idea what the mages want with your friend?
No. It knows a great deal of lore and history, but a mage could learn that simply by speaking to it in the Fade. It is possible that they seek information it does not wish to give, and intend to torture it.
Okay. I'll help.
All right. Let's go get your friend.
Thank you. I got a sense of my friend's location before I awoke. I'll mark it on our map.
Okay. It's another companion quest for us to do. All new, fated for her. We'll add it to our to-do list. A couple more people to check in with. Dorian should be up here. Yep, right there.
Marvelous business, the Winter Palace. You saved an empress, and now she's eating out of your hand. Perfect mental image. All this dancing, politics, and murder makes me a bit homesick.
Well, happy I could help.
Happy to oblige. A taste of home. Just for you.
Not just for me. Fun for the whole family.
Perhaps I should have invited some.
We were there. That's what counts. I hope you tried the ham they were serving, by the way. Tasted of despair. It's fascinating.
Ah, despair ham. Okay.
I should go.
Try not to kill anyone without me.
Good to know. Dorian enjoyed the festivities. Go up one more flight of stairs to see Liliana. Oh, we have another note here too. On the condition of your charges. I love reading these letters about her nug farm. Dear Liliana, you'll be happy to learn that your friends are doing well. Schmooples II is still unhappy about his meal plan and tries to get into the pantry. I had to have a bolt installed and now he whines constantly. The two little ones are still a handful, but good news. I've managed to discourage Boulette from relieving herself on the silk rug Justinia gave you. Felicienne, from 2 doors over, has been visiting almost every day to play with the Nugs. She is quite delightful, and Schmooples II is fond of her. I suspect it is because she brings him sweets from her father's shop. And I had to ask her governess to keep her from visiting the house, however, as someone tried to infiltrate it 2 nights ago. An agent of one of the Blanchards, hoping to uncover some of the Nightingale's secrets. I neutralized and interrogated him. His ability to withstand questioning was deplorable. Someone needs to talk to the Blanchards about their spies. All I had to do was put Schmooples II in his face and tell him that I hadn't fed the creature that day. Your pet played his part admirably. I think we've actually read this letter before, now that I'm going through it. But I'm still, whenever I can hear more lore about Schmooples II, I'm into it, so I don't mind rereading some of Liliana's letters, because the whole thing is just amazing.
So it's true. Some look to Cassandra or even me as Justinia's successor. I never thought the idea would gain momentum. Of course, with the other candidates out of the picture...
What do you want?
Is becoming divine something you really want?
When Justinia was alive, I would have laughed at anyone who even suggested that I could be her successor. Things have changed. Still, I don't know. Restoring the Chantry will be like trying to steer a sinking vessel through a storm.
I will help if I can.
Whoever becomes divine will have my support if she requires it.
And I'm sure whoever becomes divine will absolutely require the Inquisition's backing. The Chantry is faltering, but it still has influence over the people. Who tells the people what's right? Who do they look to in times of peril? A divine with enough support can change the Chantry. And with it, Thedas. But this is a discussion for later. If Corypheus wins, finding a new divine will be the least of our problems.
Touché. The thing about Liliana becoming the divine is she is a sister, you know? She actually spent time in the Chantry preaching, so I feel like she kind of best suits the position. Like, if anything, if Liliana were to become divine, I would want Cassandra to be her right hand and vice versa. So they essentially, you know, are working together, because I think the two of them would be great. But as Liliana so tactfully said, we do need to deal with Corypheus before we can even get to that, so chat about it for now, but it is not a pressing concern. I wanted to go see Vivian, but how do I get up to her again? It's been a minute. Hang on, I think we need to go back this way. Yes, and then over through this door, I think. There we go. Let's see what she has to think about our time at Halam Sharal.
Inquisitor, I find myself in the unpleasant position of asking you for help. There is an alchemical formula that I must complete, but I have been unable to obtain a critical ingredient. The heart of a snowy wyvern. I had arranged to obtain one, but the chevaliers working with me were killed in the Civil War.
What is this formula?
I didn't know you were an alchemist, Vivian. What exactly is this project you're working on?
It is a special request from a member of the Council of Heralds. I am still the Imperial Court Enchanter, after all.
Oh, I didn't know
The
you were
matter is
still
private.
holding that position.
That is all there is to say.
Okay, but why won't you tell me?
You want me to risk my life to get this thing for you, but won't tell me what it's for?
My dear, it is hardly proper for me to blab the secrets of those who put trust in my discretion. You wouldn't want me to speak about your many issues, I'm sure.
Alright, fair enough. Tell me about this wyvern.
If I'm going to hunt down a snowy wyvern, I need you to tell me everything you know about it.
They're quite rare and exceedingly dangerous. Their venom is the most potent of any wyvern. Ordinary hunters would not make the attempt. The risk is too great. You, my dear, would certainly be an equal to this monster.
Alright, I'll help you.
I'll do what I can.
Thank you, my dear. I would be most grateful. I shall give the location of its lair to Cullen. Remember, my dear, I must have its heart, or the potion will not work. I eagerly await your success.
seems a little bit sus, but, you know, at least she thinks I'm strong enough to fight a wyvern, so I'll take the compliment and we'll try to help out a companion at the same time, and hopefully all's well that ends well. Now, we have someone to sit in judgment for, and I honestly don't know who it is, so we'll find out together once I sit here on the throne.
First, this wasn't my idea. It is an issue born of titles and heir apparency and... Halam Shiral is having difficulty freeing trade routes formerly controlled by Duchess Florian. Had she been tried, her assets would be forfeit and considerable bureaucracy avoided. So they ask that we judge her.
I have to judge her remains?
This is supposed to make sense? I'm judging a box?
That was the time allotted for rebuttal. Her crimes negated any claim to... Forgive me, there is an odor.
Wow, we are literally judging a box of ashes. Apparently, due to my history knowledge, I can say there's precedent.
Strangely enough, something similar happened to an uncle of Emperor Leandra II. His trade routes were returned to the reigning monarch. Why don't we just follow suit?
A wise choice. Thank you for making it swiftly.
There you go, kids. That's why you should never forget your history and always read whenever you can, because some of these days you may be faced with judging someone's ashes. And if you know precedent, you could get it over with very quickly. That was interesting. I'm so glad we had that response. Last person we're going to check in with before we head to the war room is actually Josephine herself, so.
How bracing to be in the thick of the game again. The last time I was at Alam Shiral was Countess Letienne's wedding. There were a dozen affairs, 5 secret alliances, and a duel between 2 chevaliers over the vintage of an Antivan port. But until the Duchess was unmasked, I've never seen the Winter Palace in shock.
At least they weren't bored.
No one can say the evening wasn't memorable.
They've already begun composing songs about it in Val Royale, no doubt. The game's become increasingly insular in the past few years. Corypheus skillfully took advantage. It's disturbing so few people in the Orlesian court were aware of the Duchess's machinations.
I mean, it looked like Celine knew.
The Empress realized she was in danger.
She's always in danger. Those loyal to her should have practiced more vigilance. But let's not lose sight of victory. Your actions at the ball have secured us allies and favors alike.
I did feel a little out of place, though.
I kept dreading I'd drop the wrong spoon or step on a general's foot.
Well done. Feuds that spanned ages have sparked over less.
Really?
Inquisitor never underestimates the enmity of those for whom outrage is a sport.
Wow, that's a really good quote, actually, there at the end by Josephine. I think that could be applicable to a lot of our personal lives. Alright, let's head to the war table.
It's time to plan our next attack. What's the state of the Inquisition?
We're well loved in Orlais. Say the words and Empress Celine will send her support.
And your actions at Adamant denied Corypheus his army of pet demons. With Orlais' support, our numbers match his. Corypheus's followers must be panicking.
My agents agree. Our victories have shaken his disciples.
Well, let's hope for some deserters.
Perhaps they'll rethink following the Darkspawn Magister from the dawn of time. Where is Corypheus now?
After you dealt with the Duchess, Corypheus uprooted his major strongholds. He's moving south to the Arbor Wilds. His army clearly wasn't prepared to flee. Our victories have them on the defensive.
Well, I guess they'll be hard to miss.
Good of Corypheus to make it easy to find him. If he's hiding in the Arbor Wilds, that's where we finish him.
But what is Corypheus doing in such a remote area? His people have been ransacking elven ruins since Haven. We believe he seeks more. What he hopes to find, however, continues to elude us.
Which should surprise no one.
Oh, look who it is.
Fortunately, I can assist.
Please continue.
You have my attention, Lady Morrigan.
What Corypheus seeks in those Forgotten Woods is as ancient as it is dangerous.
Which is?
'Tis best if I show you.
Okay, guess we'll follow the witch.
This is an Eluvian, an elven artifact from a time long before their empire was lost to human greed. I restored this one at great cost, but another lies within the Arbor Wilds. That is what Corypheus seeks.
So I guess Eluvians come in all shapes and sizes, because the one we saw in Dragon Age 2 that our companion had was not nearly this big. This one is huge. Also, I can't believe Morgan just brought it into Skyhold without asking me. That's what I'm gonna say, actually. You brought this here?
Corypheus wants this, and you brought it into my castle?
If the Darkspawn could breach these walls, would he not have already come for you? I found legends of an elven temple within the Arbor Wilds, untouched. It proved too dangerous to approach, and thus I turned elsewhere to find my prize. If Corypheus has turned southward, he could succeed where I failed. The Eluvian would be his.
What does it do?
A more appropriate question would be, where does it lead? If this place once had a name, it has long been lost. I call it the Crossroads, a place where all Eluvians join, wherever they might be.
Oh, it's incredible.
This place is extraordinary. How could this even exist?
Who can say? Formed from the fabric of time and space, perhaps. The ancient elves left no roads, only ruins hidden in far-flung corners. This is how they traveled between them. As you can see, most of the mirrors are dark, broken, corrupted, or unusable. As for the rest, a few can be opened from this side, but only a few.
Interesting. So if you guys play Dragon Age Origins, or if you watched my Let's Play of it, then you'll know that in the final DLC for the game, we're hunting down Morgan, and when we finally find her, she steps through this Eluvian, and we don't see her again until basically this very moment. So she has been studying these things for a long time. I mean, you can see why. We're basically in, like, an interdimensional pocket in space, it seems. Some sort of, yeah, crossroads where you can travel between different areas. But, okay. How did you find this?
How did you find out about this place?
My travels have led me to many strange destinations, Inquisitor. Once, they led me here. It offered sanctuary.
Sanctuary?
Not all the mirrors lead back to our world.
Oh.
The ancients were nothing if not resourceful.
What does that mean?
If they don't lead back to our world, then...
Places between, like this one. I can describe it no better. For a time, I had a safe place to raise my son. But only for a time. One cannot remain in between forever.
Okay, so that's huge right there. Again, referencing back to our playthrough of Dragon Age Origins, we decided to do the Dark Ritual with Morgan so that we didn't have to die when we killed the Archdemon, and in doing so, Morgan had a child. So this is where she took the child. She brought them to this interdimensional pocket space and raised them here. So that's the first reference we've had of the child. Presumably he's still alive. And interesting to know that this is where Morgan has been, chilling in this world between worlds. What do you mean opened from this side?
What do you mean a few can be opened from this side?
Some of the Eluvians have been left unlocked, like doors accidentally left ajar. All others are closed. They can be opened only from beyond.
Opened how?
With a key.
You have a key?
I suppose you have such a key?
The key can be many things. Each Eluvian is different. I have knowledge as well as power. Often that is enough.
So, Corypheus wants this?
Corypheus wants to come here.
This is not the Fade, but it is very close. Someone with enough power could tear down the ancient barriers.
And enter the Fade in the flesh. Like Corypheus wanted to do with the anchor.
A backup plan.
He learned of the Eluvian in the Arbor Wilds as I did. He marshals the last of his forces to reach it. You have made Corypheus desperate, Inquisitor. We must work together to stop him, and soon.
Okay, well this explains why Corypheus wants an Eluvian. Really, we still have a lot of questions about them in this place, but very cool. Okay, so this is the Eluvian, looking all shiny. Don't know where is this exactly? Oh, it's out in the courtyard. I see. Okay. Morgan's actually here. We can chat with her some more.
You're the Inquisitor.
Is that him? Is this the boy?
You're very tall. Mother didn't say you were a Canary.
I am indeed a Kunari.
Oh? I'm told it's the first thing one notices about me.
I noticed your blood. It doesn't belong to your people.
Kira,
that's spooky.
Are you bothering the Inquisitor?
Of course not. Did you see what's on her hand, Mother?
I did see. 'Tis time to return to your studies, little man. My son. Never where you expect him to be, naturally.
Interesting. He's your son.
I didn't know you had a son.
Why would you? I take great pains to not let my own reputation affect him in any way. To most in the Imperial Court, he's simply a quiet and well-spoken lad. Perhaps the heir of some distant family. But he goes where I go. Worry not, Inquisitor. Kieran is a curious boy, but seldom troublesome.
Where is his father?
Will his father be joining us as well?
'Twould be most unlikely. I have raised Kieran on my own for quite some time now, as was my preference from the start. So 'tis but the two of us, Inquisitor. Your fortress is a large place, and you will scarce notice our presence.
This is so cool. I wonder, does Liliana know? I mean, Liliana knows everything, but I don't know if the hero of Ferelden told her about what he did. I don't know. Yeah, it would be interesting to have a little bit of a love triangle between Morgan, the hero, and Liliana over this boy. I wanted to talk to you.
I came here to talk with you.
So you did. To think, until recently this place stood decrepit. Occupied only by the desperate and the lost. Now it is party to events that threaten to shake the world. I wonder if it is pleased.
You know about Skyhold?
It sounds like you've heard of Skyhold before.
This fortress was built upon the remains of a site holy to the ancient elves. They called it Tallara Salan, the place where the sky is kept. It is said that from here, they reached up to the heavens to bring them down to rest. They abandoned it, as did the humans who came after them. Bones laid upon bones, silent until your arrival.
I'm rather fond of it.
I like this place. I've made it mine.
The magic in this place has seeped into the stones, protecting it from darkness. Those who let it fall to ruin did not know what they possessed. You, I think, shall do it justice. You were kind to welcome my aid, Inquisitor, even knowing as little of me as you do. I will do my best to aid your cause with all the knowledge at my disposal. This I swear to you.
Thank you.
I appreciate whatever help you can give us.
Some might think Corypheus a madman for seeking godhood. Yet one must ask, what were the old gods? What secrets of theirs did the ancient magisters know? What I fear, what all should fear, is not that Corypheus believes he can succeed. 'Tis that he actually may.
Well, Morgan, when you put it like that, it makes things a little bit more serious and scary, if you will, but I'm really glad we got to meet Kieran. Again, I'm hoping at some point there will be some sort of interaction between Morgan and Liliana, but I suppose we'll have to wait for that. Regardless, we've caught up with a lot of companions today. We've started uncovering a bunch of lore about the Eluvians and what Corypheus' next steps may be. So let's take a moment to digest all this information, and when we come back next time, we can head to the war table and plan out our next move. Until then, everyone, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys back here again real soon.